Well, hello and welcome. I'm Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're in Season 5, Episode 220, and we're doing a second or maybe third Michael Jackson Miss Heard song lyric. The Miss Heard lyric is, she says I am the one, but the chair is not my son. And then the correct lyrics is, she says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Of course, it's Billie Jean, and it's funny because it does sound like he's singing Chair, and we'll go into a famous person that also thought he was singing Chair and made fun of it. But I'll tell you, the last time we did a Michael Jackson misheard song lyric was way back, in season 3. So 2 seasons ago, episode 109, we did it with Smooth Criminal. It was the one where we thought, people have thought, the misheard song lyric is, Annie, are you walking? Are you walking, Annie? It's Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? So let's get right into it. So Billie Jean is a song by, of course, American singer Michael Jackson, released by Epic Records back on January 2nd, 1983. Wow. So 40 years ago, as the second single from his 6th studio album, Thriller, from 1982. Yours truly was a mere 10 years old. But before we get into that, I do want to say this song specifically, this and that whole album is a big deal for me because, of course, I was in grade school and everyone was Michael Jackson crazy, but I remember this song vividly and another Michael Jackson song, which is Beat It, because my grade school music teacher out in what's called Kinnaman in the Northwest Oregon of the United States, for those of you listening outside of the U.S., she was a smart music teacher. She saw that we all were totally into Michael Jackson, so she capitalized on it. She's like, you know what? Let's make music class fun. So she would incorporate some fun projects from songs from the Thriller album. And I don't know what we did for Billie Jean, but I remember for Beat It, she had us do mini music videos that we had, at that time. Now, in 1982, 83, no one had a video camera. So we were able to use our video camera from the school. So she, I think, manned it, or someone else from one of the teachers that knew how to, and made little vignettes. If we can find those videos, that would be screen gold to find that. That's why this song and others just brings me back to being a 5th, 6th grader. So there you go. All right, let's go back to the song. So it was written and composed by Michael Jackson and produced by Quincy Jones. So that's a big powerhouse duo there. Also co-produced by Jackson. And it blended post-disco, rhythm and blues, funk, and dance pop. Put it all together and it's a great dance song. Anytime you heard it karaoke or at any club, people know exactly which song it is and they start dancing. So let's just touch a little bit on who MJ is. I know I touched on it way back when, and for those of you who've been living under a rock that doesn't know, this will help too, but it kind of gives a good basis. So he was born Michael Joseph Jackson. It's probably named after his father. Born on August 29th, 1958. He died tragically on June 25th, 2009, 2 months shy of his 51st birthday. That's crazy. And was an American singer, songwriter, dancer, and philanthropist. He was known as the King of Pop, and some say regarded as one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century. I've heard through the grapevine, I've seen some that he actually dubbed himself King of Pop. And I think his people also said to any handlers that he'll be called King of Pop. So that's how he got the moniker, is my understanding. Now, during his 4 decades, of course, 40 years of his career, he has contributed to music, dance, fashion, also with a very highly publicized personal life. And he is known globally. A lot of people know who Michael Jackson is outside of the U.S. for sure. He is the 8th child of the Jackson family. He made his debut in 1964 with his older brothers Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon as a member of the Jackson 5. And later they became known as the Jacksons. I remember even as a young kid, there was even a Jacksons 5 or Jacksons cartoon, if you can believe that. Look it up. It's on YouTube. He had started to begin his own solo career in 1971 while at Motown Records, and became a solo star, they say, in 1979 with his Off the Wall album. Great album. Many music videos, of course, like I mentioned earlier, Beat It, Billie Jean, and then Thriller, and are mostly not only amazing videos, but credited for breaking racial barriers and transforming the medium into an art form and a promotional tool. I'll touch on a little bit later of, if you can believe this, MTV not wanting to play Michael Jackson videos and the reason why. It took a great person, I'll share later, that pushed him I mean, eventually I'm assuming they would have played black singer videos, but because of this individual that supported Michael Jackson, it raised it up faster for the videos to be played. So I did not know this until doing this research. Okay, Mr. Michael Jackson, also helped, like I said, with MTV, and because of his videos in '87 with Bad, Dangerous, 2019, albums. So let me go back. Albums: Bad, 1987, Dangerous, 1991, His Story, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, 1995, and Invincible, 2001. No surprise, Thriller became the best-selling album of all time, while Bad was the first album to provide 5 U.S. Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles. That's amazing. And like I said earlier, from the late 1980s, he became a very controversial figure, and lots of people agree or disagree. I'm not going to go into that about his relationships and lifestyle. All I can touch is that he was accused as early as 1993 of sexual abuse of a child of a family friend, and what happened with that was the lawsuit was settled out of civil court and there was no evidence, so that's why he was not indicted, I guess. And then let's fast forward in 2005, Mr. Jackson was tried and acquitted for further child sexual abuse allegations and several other charges, and the FBI, again, found no evidence of criminal conduct by Jackson in either case. Then let's fast forward to 2009, while he was prepping for some comebacks with his This Is It tour, and he died from an overdose of propofol administered by his own physician, a Conrad Murray, who then was convicted in 2011, so 2 years later, of involuntary manslaughter for his involvement with Jackson's death. And because of his death, it triggered a lot of emotions out there from all around the world. It says here, unprecedented surges of internet traffic and a spike in sales of his music. And usually around Halloween, too, we start seeing a little spike of his Thriller song that comes up. One of the many did you knows is Jackson's televised memorial service. So when he passed on, it was actually televised and held at the Staples Center in LA. And it supposedly was estimated to have been viewed by 2.5 billion people, so around the world. We all know he's one of the best music artists selling of all time. And he has about an estimated sales of over 400 million records. He had 13 Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles, 4th highest of any artist in the Hot 100 era, they say, and was the first artist to have a top 10 single on the Billboard Hot 100 in 5 different decades. That's amazing, 50 years. His honors include 15 Grammy Awards, 6 Brit Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and 39 Guinness World Records, including the most successful entertainer of all times. No surprise, Mr. Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not once, but twice, and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Dance Hall of Fame, making him the only recording artist to be inducted, and the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame. That's amazing. So let's talk more about the song, Billie Jean. What was it about? Obviously, there's something about a lady thinking that he is the father of her son, or the kid, or the chair. Apparently, from Michael Jackson, it was based on groupies. He had his brothers encountered while they were performing as the Jacksons, or Jackson 5. Quote unquote, Michael said, they would hang around, they being the groupies, around backstage doors, and any band that would come to town, they would have a relationship with. And I think I wrote this out of experience with my brothers when I was little. There was a lot of Billie Jeans out there. Every girl claimed that their son was related to one of my brothers. Interesting. And according to Jackson's biographer, J. Randy Tabarelli, Billie Jean was inspired by letters Jackson received in 1981 from a woman claiming he was the father of one of her twins. Jackson, who regularly received letters of this kind, had never met the woman and ignored those claims. However, it said that she continued some letters stating that she loved him and wanted to be with him, and how he could ever ignore his own flesh and blood. And as you can imagine, the letters disturbed Michael Jackson so much he began to suffer from nightmares. So that is the impetus of Billie Jean. The music video, very iconic. If you go to YouTube, I just looked just recently, and as of October of 2023, it's at 1.4 billion, not million, views. And on June 10th of 2021, the same video, Billie Jean, was the first 1980s clip by a solo artist to reach 1 billion on YouTube. So now it's at 1.4 billion. That's crazy. MTV, let's talk about this. This is shame on you, MTV. Initially, the behind the scenes was they were refusing to hear the video for Billie Jean, as the network executives, I'm assuming a bunch of white males, felt that the black music that Michael Jackson sang did not fit into the rock-centered network. Interesting. So here is the hero of all this, a Walter Yetnikoff. He was the president of Jackson's record company at that time, which was CBS Records. Thanks to Walter, he was so angry that they refused to play the video in spite of Michael Jackson's success as a musical artist, that he threatened to go public with MTV's stance on racial discrimination. He says, I said to MTV, I'm pulling everything we have off the air, all of our product. I'm not going to give you any more videos, and I'm not going to go public, and I'm going to go public and fucking tell them of the fact that you don't want to play music by a black guy. Lo and behold, MTV gave up, and Billie Jean music video debuted on March 10th, 1983, thanks to Walter Yetnikoff. There you go. After the video played with many heavy rotation, the Thriller went on to sell an additional 10 million copies. So there you go. It did quite well. It was directed by Steve Barron, this video, and it was produced by a Gary Fields Flattery. The video shows, I thought it was they say photographer. I thought the guy in the trench coat was some kind of PI, so I totally got confused. So supposedly this photographer, I'll put air quotes, follows Jackson around, and then the paparazzi also follows him around, so never catches him, they say. And every time he's photographed, Jackson doesn't materialize on the developed picture, like he disappears. He dances to Billie Jean's hotel room, and he walks along the sidewalk, and each tile he touches lights up. And then after he performs a quick spin, Jackson jumps and lands freeze-framed on his toes. And then they show here, upon arrival at the hotel, Jackson climbs to the staircase to where Billie Jean's room. You never see Billie Jean, by the way. And then each step lights up as he touches it. And a burnt-out hotel sign illuminates as he passes. Again, the paparazzi, again, I thought it was the FBI or someone, arrives at the scene and watches as Jackson vanishes under the covers of Billie Jean's bed. Which is weird because, like, if you don't know Billie Jean, you don't know of her, why are you in her bed? So confusing there. So trailed by the police, the paparazzi, which is one guy, is then arrested for spying on Billie Jean because, of course, they don't see Michael Jackson. He's, again, either invisible or he's left. And as the paparazzo is left away, he drops a tiger print cloth, the one that Jackson produces and uses to polish his shoe earlier in the video. So watch that Easter egg. And on both occasions, the cloth turns into a tiger cub, which if you look at the Thriller album jacket, there's him with a little cute tiger cub. So there's something there that's attached to it. And then once the street is empty, they say the paving tiles, again, light up in sequence, reversing Jackson's earlier progress. I did miss that Easter egg, so I'll have to look at that again. They also said in the video that he has a new look. This is where Jackson's clothes are now a black leather suit with a pink shirt and red bow tie. And it looks like he's wearing like spats almost like saddle shoes because of the black and white. Apparently it was copied by many children around the U.S., more so that despite, they say, pupil protests at Brown Brook High School, they didn't allow any student to wear a single white glove like Jackson had done during the performance of Billie Jean. That is hilarious. So here's another thing I found out. So, I've heard it does say he's saying chair instead of the kid is not my son. So did David Letterman. So there is a 2009, June 26 article by WBEZ that's titled, "The Song Brings Back Memories, Billie Jean," and then in parentheses, "The Chair is Not My Son." It's by Justin Kaufman, and he essentially writes on this article about how he really loved David Letterman and how David Letterman would often play a recording of the song with the word chair replacing kid to create the misheard song lyric, "The chair is not my son." But the funny thing is the chair, it's not the usual, like what you hear Michael Jackson saying. It's like a Jewish man saying chair. So it adds to the comic value. So if you haven't seen the YouTube video, it's there. Just put David Letterman, Billie Jean, or chair, and you'll find it. So a lot of great things. What I love about it is the hero. And the hero in this whole thing is Michael Jackson's past president of CBS Records, which is Walter Yetnikoff, who stuck it to MTV executives saying, "You're a fool," or "You're all fools for not playing this video." And he was correct, and he got more black music on MTV. So God bless you, Walter Yetnikoff. If you have a great suggestions like this misheard song lyric, please send them to any of our sites at X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or you can just send me an old-fashioned misheard song lyric email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. Till then, keep singing the songs wrong. Bye!